during his playing days. You don't jump until he takes the shot. In that case, he was not going to shoot. Plaisted gets fooled, and it becomes an easy bucket for the Cowboys.
Well, Darren Brown, 4 points early. He's had 2 double-doubles this season. A history of back problems. They're glad that he's healthy this season, though. His senior year. There's the sophomore going up strong in the trees. Good offensive rebound to Balderson. Puts it back for 2.
Here's what we were talking about, getting second opportunities. That was a gimme for Balderson. That's a poor job of blocking out. A guard or a small forward shouldn't be able to be that deep.
And Brown, 2 more.
Might have got away with a hop on that one. Not necessarily a charge, but an extra step.
Balderson right past Brown. Too hard off the glass. Rebound to Ewing. Jones had a peek, but Ewing will take the 3 try. Drills it.
And right away, Dave Rose calls timeout. He doesn't want to get out of it. The transition defense for BYU has been poor, and Wyoming is, with the exception of the one putback, the game. They start to be volume shooters. Interesting here how they're letting the game come to them. They're not concerned with who drops the points.
Well, Jones says, I only averaged 16.2. Here, you take it. You averaged 22.1.
Yeah, and this guy's almost automatic when he's got an open look like that.
And when they get hot, they roll in, and all 3 of them will heat up at the same time for these Wyoming Cowboys and will shoot. 71 of the 96 points against UNLV to Wyoming belong to Ewing and Jones and Spencer.
Interesting to note the timeout came about almost exactly the time the ball came out of the net. Dave Rose didn't want to let this get away.
Plaisted down underneath. There's an elbow in the back. That's Travis Nelson, who's checked into the game for big Darren Brown, who has 6 points. They'll take a break, and we'll take one with them. Be right back here to Provo. Early going. Wyoming by 8.
Tonight's game is sponsored by UJ Financial. Representing UJ Financial is Vice President.
Friday at 7 here on the Mountain.
I was surprised, as I'm sure you were too. Darren Brown, 3 for 4 from the field, had 6 early points, and was a big body underneath, and he gets replaced. The only thing I can think of is he must be tired. It would seem to me they want to leave him in.
Well, they've been playing all their home games at 7,200 feet. Then they come down a little bit.
Exactly.
It'd be too much oxygen maybe for him. So there's Nelson still in the game working. Plaisted loses a grip on it, gets his own rebound. Another one that tries to put it back, but he's fouled in the process.
And this is where you might see Brown come back in, because now that's 2 quick fouls on Nelson. Here's something that we talk about at the top of the show. You can't keep giving the extra shots. Placed it deep in there. Probably should have made that. Gets his own rebound, comes up again, and gets it again. And all Nelson can do is hack it from the back, and sure enough, as we say that, Brown's going to come back in the game.
Big Darren Brown, 6'9". He'll sit Travis Nelson down. Nelson, the tallest member of this team at 6'11". He had 4 blocks against Lamar, a team that BYU went down to Beaumont, Texas, and lost to.
But there's 30 pounds difference, and that 30 pounds is big. We're talking about from about the navel down. That's why they need that extra weight to keep Plaisted up.
Nine shots apiece for these 2 teams. Wyoming, of course, the better percentage. Taylor can't get a grip on it. He loses it. There's Spencer to pick it up. 15 on the shot clock. Jones for 3, in and out. Rebound to Balderson. Balderson takes it coast to coast. Can't get the reverse to go.
That's frustrating. He almost caught himself at the other end, too. He was upset, looking down, cursing himself, and Ewing had a pretty good look for 3. And if he'd have buried that, I'm thinking that Coach Rose might have pulled him out. The transition defense for BYU has been very poor here in the early going. Malaman in the game now.
Malaman and Mike Rose as well. Rose, the nephew of Dave Rose, who's also been hot here recently for the BYU Cougars. He's a senior. There's the sophomore. Plaisted can't get it to fall. Big Darren Brown, the big body, pulling it down. Plaisted now 0 for 6 from the floor.
And it's not like he's not getting good looks. I understand they're contested, but he's still getting some good looks.
Wow! I told you, I warned you in pregame, watch out for big Joseph Taylor. One thing he can do is throw it down.
Oh, he had some hops on that one.
Deep three try for Rose. It rattles out though. Mike Rose hit 3 threes in a row against UNLV in the loss. There's Spencer, turnaround jumper. He drills it.
Seems to be a lid on the basket for BYU, and Wyoming taking advantage of it in kind of a semi-transition. Again, the 3 guards are dominating, whether it be shooting or passing. Oh, lucky to get that one back.
Malaman almost had it stolen, tries the 3. They'll run the other end. Rose on Spencer. Rose, Spencer, Ewing, Brown, Taylor, and Jones in the game for Wyoming. Brown, they like that matchup of Brown and Plaisted. Stuff. A tie-up, they're calling a tie-up. And Trent Plaisted, 26 blocks on the season. He's averaging 3.3 blocks a game in the Mountain West Conference run.
He's getting a little help from his friends here. Ainge came down, and you talked about how crucial he was going to be to help underneath. Here he comes. He gets a piece of this ball as well as Plaisted. Now down 10, BYU has to do a better job of shot selection. Shooting only 26% from the field. And there's your guy. They're giving him a little bit of a rest. But you know, Coach McLean has to watch this. These guys might be in a lot sooner than they think.
Freshman Eric Platt now in the ball game for BYU. There's Keena Young working on Ika Cordier.
This is why I was surprised I didn't see that sooner. Everything was going down to Plaisted, but Keena Young's their leading scorer. He's got to get some touches.
Jones to the hoop. Brown couldn't handle the rebound. Good hustle by Brad Jones, but then he loses it. Keena Young picks it up. Murdoch now in the game. He'll try a 3, drills it. Ben Murdoch.
In the midst of all of that mess, the ball came to him and nobody was around number 24. He measured his shot and dropped it.
At the first 3-pointer for these Cougars. Here's almost a steal. Balderson has 26 steals on the year. The Cougars do get it. Keena Young over to Balderson. Balderson won't go. Kick back out on top. New shot clock. Quick shot though, and it's too strong. Over the back on Malaman. It'll go the way of Wyoming.
This break comes at a great time for Wyoming because there's no people in there. BYU rushing back. The momentum could be changing.
Percent there so far in the first half. They held Air Force to 26%. These Wyoming Cougars did. Joseph Taylor defensively and offensively.
Kind of fun to see this. You know, it really ignites a team when somebody. And what's impressive, I'm not even sure this is the apex of his jump. Look at that. It looks like he gets it coming down. Number 20, he's got some hops.
Sporting News called